once again for the power of the internet. How are you today? I'm back again for another live video. Welcome back to your live stream. Actually, this video is going to be about Cody Rhodes, the documentary I just saw on Peacock. So feel free to enter in on some comments you might want to be on. So feel free to enter some comments if you want for this live stream. Welcome to your review. I promised I'd do that, and here I am for that. If you want to comment, please leave some comments and stuff. So welcome to your review on the documentary. I did see it, and I want to say it was a very good documentary. I enjoyed it. I thought it was very, I learned a lot about Cody, things I didn't know he went through. The Stardust character, the Dashing Cody Rhodes character, his father, a lot of things that he went through with AEW, his personal reasons, his life. Also, Triple H and him talked about the title at the end of WrestleMania. We'll talk about that. Everything that Cody's been through up until now. I mean, Cody Rhodes' story is amazing to me. This guy, I can relate to Cody. I lost my dad, and Cody lost his dad. So when I hear guys talk about Cody, why does he want to do it for himself? Why doesn't he want to do it for himself? You know, he is doing it for himself, but it's also he's doing it for his father because he wants to win the big one for his dad. And I relate to that because my dad died too. So Cody's dad died in 2015. He never won the big one. Cody's father never won the big one. And Cody wants to do this. He wants to finish the story. His father never won this. And for Cody to finish the story and he didn't beat Roman Reigns. Okay, Roman Reigns is the longest reigning WWE champion. We all know that. This documentary explained a lot to me about Cody. I told a story a few months ago about Cody Rhodes on this channel. And I guess I didn't tell it right. Now I can. Because I learned a lot about Cody tonight. I didn't know anything about Cody. I didn't really know the man that he was and the crap he was going through. And Vince McMahon and all the things that Vince McMahon did to him and well, not do to him, but the Stardust character. It wasn't Vince. It was the writers, Jason. The writers did this to him. I don't put a lot of the blame on Vince because some of the blame went on the writers for that Stardust gimmick. That gimmick should have never happened. We'll get into that too. So we're going to get right into it. We're going to dive right into the story. Dusty Rhodes, his father. Now, his father never won this. That was how this whole thing revolves around, the story. His father never won the big one. His father did win the AEW, the NWA championship, but he never won the WWE title. Now his father did wrestle for this, the big one. He wrestled superstar Billy Graham in the 70s, and Dusty lost. Dusty did win the match, but he didn't win the title. There's a picture of his father on the fireplace of his dad holding up the WWE championship. There's a picture of it. And Cody never saw his father win it. And he won by countout. You don't win the title by countout. You win the title by pinfall or submission. That's the way it always has been. And that's the way it would always be in WWE. I think it's stupid. But it never made it to Dusty. Dusty never got the break that he needed. He never got the championship. So Cody, what's up, Boots? Cody, Cody himself, you know, that eluded him, and he said that in the documentary. He said that eluded me my whole life. My dad never won the big one, and to me, that says a lot about Cody and what he's been through. You know, it tells a story about a man that went through a lot and got where he needs to be today. And that means a lot to me. I look up to this guy. But he's one of my favorite wrestlers. But his father went broke. No electricity. They had to turn off electricity. You know, Cody broke into the business, okay? He started very young. I think his first match was against Randy Orton, and he lost. I mean, Cody started young in the business. He wrestled Randy Orton, and Randy Orton was a tough wrestler. Randy Orton was very tough. But Cody learned a lot from Randy. And Cody had to learn, you know, you're a rookie, and you're going to have your first match against Randy Orton. And he lost. So to me, that's a learning experience. You know, you lose your first match as a rookie. Then Cody got into the ring with Legacy. Now, Legacy was the best move for Cody. And here's why. Because you're learning from Randy Orton, the Legend Killer, as Randy Orton refers to himself. But he learned a lot from Randy Orton. He learned how to craft his wrestling skills and everything. He learned a lot from Legacy. And, you know, Ted DiBiase and Randy Orton. He learned a lot. He got to wrestle some big names like D-Generation X, Shawn Michaels and Triple H. Remember that rivalry? I mean, he built his craft over that. Legacy was a big step for Cody. And I think Legacy helped him grow his craft, you know, to where he needed to be elevated to where he is now. Get down, please. Come on. Get down. Get down. And elevate his craft in wrestling. Legacy. So, after that, Dashing Cody Rhodes. Now, he told everybody he liked the Dashing Cody Rhodes character. I mean, I didn't like it. I thought he was a complete jackass when he was dashing, excuse my language, but he was a complete jackass when he was dashing Cody Rhodes. I didn't like it at all. I said he liked that character. He actually admitted it. And he liked the Dashing Cody Rhodes character. I'm like, are you kidding me? You like the Dashing Cody Rhodes character? You actually liked Dashing Cody Rhodes? I thought Dashing Cody Rhodes sucked. I never liked the character. But again, it was a gimmick. He had to start somewhere. This wasn't Vince. This was the writers. This people don't understand. It was the writers. They wanted to build. He wanted to do it. He did it. And he did it proudly. This guy would do anything. Because he wanted to impress his dad so much. And Dashing Cody Rhodes was it. That was it. Dashing. Dashing Cody Rhodes. Okay, I could understand that. You know, he wanted to be, you know, dashing. I understand. And he liked the character. He liked it. He said he liked it. I said, I don't understand it. I think the character stunk. Personally. You know, and then after that, he just, you know, came down the ladder and started building and building, won the Intercontinental title, you know, got to induct his dad into the Hall of Fame. Now his dad, now this is where it gets to me a little bit in the documentary. His dad made more time for him and his daughter. Now, that is true. Cody did have more time than Dustin did. Dusty was on the road a lot. Dusty retired in 95. Dusty was on the road a lot. They said in the documentary. You can watch it on Peacock, guys. But he was on the road a lot. And Dusty never made time for his son. And Dusty, he didn't hate his son. I just think he disowned Dustin. You know, that's what people talk about. But Goldust never, Dustin never resented his dad for that. You know, he just made more time for Cody and his daughter. He loved Cody. And when Cody got to induct him in the Hall of Fame, in one of the best speeches I've ever heard, and he was crying and everything about his dad's Hall of Fame induction. And that was back in 2007. One of the best induction Hall of Fame speeches I ever heard. And that's when he first got his push in the WWE. But then, after all that, legacy and dashing and all that, this is where it comes into the big picture. And this is what hurt his career the most, Stardust. Now, this was not Vince McMahon's idea. This was Cody's idea. But the problem with Stardust was it just didn't work for Cody. Stardust wasn't the character he wanted. Stardust was more of a character. Nobody really thought Stardust had star material. Stardust was not for Cody. Cody did not want this to be his life. Stardust was terrible for Cody. That ruined Cody's career. I mean, it was a downward spiral after that in the documentary, if you hear it. Stardust did ruin Cody's career. I have to say that right off the bat. It did. And he's right. He should have never got that gimmick. That gimmick was the worst gimmick he ever did. Get down, please. Leave the key alone. Down, please. Down. Stop. But that was the worst gimmick he ever did. You know, and he alluded to it. And, you know, I think that he admitted a lot of stuff. Now, his father, on the other hand, took some wrestlers under his wing, and he got a little bitter about that. He took Sami Zayn under his wing. I never knew these things, Jason. Sami Zayn, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins. He trained them all. He actually helped Triple H with NXT. I never knew this. He actually helped Triple H with the gold brand. I never knew this. I never knew that Cody's father trained Roman, Seth, Sammy, and Kevin, and Roman. I never knew that. And they all said they were Dusty's kids. Now that hurt Cody. Cody was doing this gimmick that I don't think Dusty really approved of. Dusty said, "You'll never get a title dressing like a goof." I guess that's what his father said to him. I don't know. But Cody knew that gimmick had to go. It's all in a documentary if you want to see it. It's on Peacock. But Cody knew that gimmick had to go. And it had to go. It had to. It didn't work for him. It didn't fit for him. So he got rid of it. He just kept doing it, and I don't know why he did it. He just needed the money at the time, and Brandy, his wife supported him. And he became a joke. Everybody said, "You'll never be a main event." He rattled a lot of cages. He wanted to be bigger than it was. And then his dad died in 2015. That's where the documentary hit me the most. I know about my dad. And his dad died in 2015. And that's when the story took a turn for the worst. I mean, Cody really went downhill after that. He wanted to get out after that. He just couldn't do Stardust anymore. He just couldn't do it. And he wanted his release. And he rattled some. He went to Triple H and Gorilla. Triple H was doing creative at this time. I never knew any of this. He went to Triple H and Gorilla and he said, I want my release now. He rattled a lot of cages. He wanted to leave. He asked the writers to change his character to a different... He wanted to be Cody Rhodes. And they said, no, we're not doing it. Well, then I want my release. He rattled the cage. He left. He left the WWE. He gave up Stardust and left. Now, this is where it happens. The Indies. He made himself a household name. He went to different promotions. He wrestled all over the world. The Indies. New Japan Wrestling. That's where the American Nightmare was born. You can't go back from that. The American Nightmare was born in New Japan Wrestling. And that's where he became a household name. That's where he became the American Nightmare. So, he actually invented his craft in New Japan. And that's where he became the American. He actually has a school where he trains wrestlers. And it's called the American Nightmare School. It's a good documentary. I liked it. So, he became the American Nightmare. And then he went to the Indies, like JD said. He went and wrestled all over the world. And he became Cody Rhodes, the American Nightmare. But this was still a dream. Still on his mind. What happened? Well, he met up with the Young Bucks. And they wanted to do an all-in show. An indie show. And that's how ADW was born. I mean, they sold out the indie show. An instant. That's when Cody became a businessman. Cody actually ran ADW with Tony Khan in the back. He was executive vice president. Now, Cody loved wrestling for All Elite. He wrestled for All Elite for 3 years. Now, you can say 3 years is great. Then he had a daughter. He had to spend all his time for his daughter. And he said the reason he left ADW, I mean, everyone read it online, it was because of money and talent. No. He said it was personal reasons. He didn't get into why he left. He just left because of personal reasons. I think it was because of his contract was up. And he left. And went back to WWE. So, he didn't have a meeting with Triple H. He didn't have a meeting about his character. He had a meeting with Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon flew back to get Cody and pleaded with Cody to come to WrestleMania. And he said, Vince, I'm going to tell you this once, and I'm only going to say this once. He pointed to his tattoo on his neck. He said, this is who I am now. I ain't Stardust. I'm the American Nightmare. I said, okay. He went with it. Vince actually flew. This is true. Kevin Owens said this. Vince actually flew to get Cody Rhodes. I was shocked. I said, Vince McMahon flew all the way to Atlanta to get Cody? I couldn't believe my ears. Vince, of all people. We talked bad about Vince, me and my friend Jason, and I couldn't believe my ears. So this is Vince McMahon we're talking about here, who writes terrible scripts. Actually flew to get Cody back. And actually, like Cody B, the American Nightmare, I'm shocked. I'm shocked. Vince McMahon, I can't believe it. Believe that one, Jason. Watch the documentary if you don't believe me. Believe that one, Jay, huh? It's Vince. Vince of all people. I couldn't believe my ears. He flew to get Cody? I don't believe it. I couldn't believe it. Believe that one, JD, huh? Shocking. As much as people don't like Vince, and I think he's nuts, but he flew. And you know how the story goes. He wrestled at WrestleMania 22, he returned, and then he fight Roman, and he didn't get it. I was pissed. Jason was pissed. He didn't win it. He went for a tear pectoral muscle, and he didn't win the belt. He wrestled Seth Rollins with a torn pectoral muscle, and he still didn't win the title. I'm going to say something about that Seth Rollins match. I've never seen an injury like that. His whole muscle was bruised. Now, you talk about a torn pec, man. That must have been painful for him. I mean, you're fighting Seth, and then you fight through that pain. I mean, he must have been in a lot of pain to do all that. Really. He went through a lot of pain. So, I wish people would enter here, man. This is ridiculous. So, he went through a lot of pain. And he finished the match. I couldn't believe it. And it was great. I mean, my hat's off to him. But you know the rest of the story. He won the Royal Rumble. He got to WrestleMania. He didn't win it. But Triple H talked to him. And he said, let me tell you something. So what? He said, I'm effing pissed. I'm effing this. I'm effing that. He blurted out the swears. But he told them, your dad's proud of you. You main evented WrestleMania. Something your dad never did. Triple H told him that. And for me to hear that meant a lot to me to hear that from Triple H. Because, that Cody said the dream's not finished. I'm going to get this for my dad. And I'm going to put it on my mantle next to his picture. This is what it's all about in WWE. This is what Roman Reigns has for 1,000 days. And I don't think they were going to take it off him at WrestleMania. I know a lot of people say Cody's not going to be the man. It has to happen. When, I don't know. But it ain't going to be Jey Uso. I'll tell you that right now. But this story means a lot to me. It makes me think about me being real for a minute. I know you guys think that I'm goofy Cuban Sam, and you have it right, but I'm being real with you. I'm being the real David here. Cody's like a role model to me. He's one of my favorite wrestlers, but he's also a role model to me. I can relate to Cody because I lost my dad this year in May, and that really hit a lot to me because my dad and me had a great relationship. My dad and me loved each other, and we cared about each other a lot, me and my dad. I mean, I have a lot of support, my girlfriend Paula, my friend Jason and Ashley, but my dad was my rock, he was my buddy, We talked on the phone all the time. Always came to my Special Olympics games and everything. My dad was my world, just like Cody's dad. And I can relate to Cody because I lost my dad. You don't get over something like that, guys. When you lose someone you love, it's hard. I know I get angry sometimes, and I know I can have a temper, and I don't mean it all the time. But I have a disability, and I have to live with that, you know. But I really do love what I do in Special Olympics, and I do it for my father. Because I want him to be proud of me no matter what. And he was always proud of me. No matter if I got 5th, 6th, 7th, he was always proud of me. And Cody, your dad's proud of you. You didn't win it, but you main evented WrestleMania. You tried, and you fought a good match, even though the damn Soto interfered. But you won a good match, and you fought gallantly. And now you're going in against Brock Lesnar, which I give you a lot of credit for. I wouldn't fight Brock. Brock's like a grower. But I know how you feel, because I feel the same way. I mean, I'm being real with you guys. I mean, I'm not trying to get your sympathy, and I hope you do have sympathy, because I saw the comments on my shorts. I thank you for all that. I love you guys for that. And I love you too, babe. Thank you. But the truth of it is, my story ain't finished, and neither is Cody's. I got a long way to go. I got to get over I'm getting over my dad, but, you know, I don't plan on living here for the rest of my life. I'm planning to get out of this apartment and get my own, go to Academy Knowles, but that's going to take time. But, you know, it's hard for me to sit here and talk about my dad being gone, because I can't believe he's gone. I can't believe it. You know, and he was young, and he was 71, but he had dementia, and nobody wants to live like that. And I read his death certificate the other day, and it said failure to thrive. That's hard, you know. It's hard to read that, you know, and he's in a box over here. His ashes are over here, and I have to look at that every day. And I know he's in a better place. I know he's with Jesus. And Cody, your dad's with Jesus too. And to think about JD and what he says, I like JD from New York, but Cody, do it for your dad. Do it. Win this for your dad. I won my medals for my dad. I got my medals on my dad's. I'll share that in a minute, guys. I got my medals on my dad's thing over there. Let me show you guys what I did for my dad with my medals. I'll show Jason too and everybody. I'll show you guys what I did. This is what I did. This is what I did for my dad. And I put the medals on top. You guys can see that. And his watch. And I did all this setup. It's like a montage. Let me see if I can turn on the lights so you guys can see it better. I did all this. I did all that. And I did this. And I got him that watch. And there's the medals, and there's the montage. That's him when he was little. That's my dad when he was little, and that's his brother, Uncle Joe. So, you know, it is sad when you lose someone you care about. You know? Well, I'm going to go now. Thank you for watching this documentary, review on the documentary. I didn't get a lot of watches, but hope you guys like the live streams. Please, tune in and comment, like, subscribe. I might go back to filming videos again. Like, subscribe. I'm not doing the live streams anymore. Like, subscribe, comment, favorite, and don't forget, put Jesus first, guys. Bye for now.